Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of our favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I just like to post pictures of my drawings. That's about it. I've also posted links to the two issues that we're going to be reviewing today. These links are for the DC fan page, fandom. Some people, I think it's part of the fandom network, which will have story synopsis and the characters that are in there. So we're gonna be looking at JLA 20 and 21. These issues are written by Mark Waid. So um, and although the cover is done by Howard Porter, who is the regular JLA artist, it is the two issues will be penciled by um, Arnie Jorgensen here. So, all right, so here we go. So we start off in the JLA watchtower here, which is based in the moon during this run, and Barda and Orion are going through the trophy room, and you can see here Orion's like, where I come from, we have very little use for toys. And Green Lantern Kyle Rayner, who is a Green Lantern during this period, says they're not toys, they're trophies of past battles. Surely you can respect that. Um, and so Orion grabs this key and acts tells Green Lantern tells him, this thing is probably still loaded, which it is. So he shoots it, and off he goes, and it's about to hit Flash, but it didn't, because you can see here that it is actually going to, it's gonna go out there, caught by Superman, who is back to his regular costume. Very happy. So, in the regular issues of Superman, um, he ended up fighting the Millennium Giants, I believe it was the story during that time, and it caused him to go back to being regular Superman. So, um, and Green Lantern's here like, I didn't do it. It was Orion, and everybody's just happy to see Superman back in his regular uh, uh, costume here, and you can see here Superman Forever was where this issue took place. It's a very cool cover done by Alex Ross. So um, for Superman Forever. So here we get a quick recap in case readers missed it, that of what happened that turned him back into it. So Superman asks if their accommodations are decent. Barda says it's not like New Genesis, but not as harsh as Apocalypse. So, and they didn't choose to leave their homeworlds, but Tachyon has assigned them to Earth. And Orion says here reluctantly, will do it beside their team. And then we're gonna keep talking, but suddenly there's a big flash of light, and you can see here the JLA is kind of like in some kind of chains, or not really chains. I don't know how you would say this, but some kind of uh, things around their neck and wrists. And Flash is about to use his powers when he's suddenly shocked. So it looks like it keeps their powers in check and dampens it. And here, you'll see here, you'll do no such things if you want to stay alive. On your knees. So your days of freedom are over as of this moment. And suddenly here, you can see, oh my goodness gracious. I almost called him Adam Warlock from Marvel, but it's Adam Strange. And so you are prisoners of Adam Strange. And again, we have our cast of characters here. So Pretty cool. I don't know if this artist ever did anything other than these. I've never really found him um, elsewhere. So Superman says so that they're in Ron, that planet where Adam Warlock. Oh my goodness, I did it again. Adam Strange lives, and he says, "You've always been an ally. Please release us." And Adam tells them, "Not a chance. They have quite a task ahead." And the Enterran slave masters, uh, under their watch, they will obey his every command unless he'd like to taste another whip. So, and Orion, of course, is not very happy. He says, "Orion's no man's slave. I shall free myself and force these shackles down your." But he's not able to finish his sentence as everybody's down except Superman. So, these slave masters uh, talk telepathically here. This is at least a telepathic, and then with the thoughts. So, they say it's a proud group. This Adam Strange, eager for liberty, they seem. And so Adam says, use your mental powers, monitor their thoughts. If they even begin to plan an escape, then of course, boom, cut them down with your psi lashes. This doesn't look like psychic lashes because this looks like physical, but oh well. All right, so here it's hitting a Superman. So Adam warns them not to tamper with the energy chains. They're not only sensitive to your powers, but all of you will pay the penalty even if one tries to free himself. That should even keep the invulnerable Superman in line. You can see Superman's not very happy. Martian Manhunter says, Adam, this can't be you. You're a hero, the defender of the planet Ron. And he says that he still remains the defender of the planet Ron. He says that the and Terrans blocked his telepathy with their own, but that he can, if he would like to peek inside his mind, he sure can. That so that he can take a glimpse. So, and you can see here, great moons of Mars, you're insane. The Manhunter says. He says he's never seen things more clearly, and Green Lantern was the last one of them to visit Ron, and it was largely a devastated wasteland. Here it says Green Lantern 74 and 75 of the new series here. He says it won't be any longer. The Interrans, with their help, he's elected to restore the planet to its former glory, and all that's been required so far is the toil and sweat of Ranians worldwide. And you can see everyone is working as slaves. You can even see here how the people, even when they're hurt and done, you can see that these Enterranians are keeping everybody in line. So he says that he brought the Justice League here using the Zeta beams, and he wants it to look exactly as it did when Alana was the princess, and Superman asks as a memorial, and Adam says no, and you can see his views or his face showing how crazy he is. He says no, a celebration. I believed Alana was dead, but she's coming home, so she is going to be returning here. He says to the Interrans to put him to work, and they're going to take him. He says, your labor awaits. So here they're whispering. This shows whispers here. So Green Lantern says, hey, John, do you think the Interrans have Adam brainwashed? John says, if they were capable of mental control, we wouldn't require shackles. And Flash says, is this some kind of trick by Adam, a secret plan to he says bag the Interrans, meaning capture them, Um, so Martian Manhunter says it looks like Adam is crazy, but for now they're gonna humor him. At the very least, they can help lift some of the burdens from some of the Radiants until they can find some avenue of escape. They need to play along for as long as they can bear, which, you've got Orion just seething here. So, and Wonder Woman is looking at him going, oh my God, he's about to snap. So, and Adam holds his daughter and he says, excellent. And so he's like, they think daddy's crazy, but daddy know mommy's coming home. Won't that be exciting? So it looks like Adam really does believe this, and the little girl yells, "Mommy," with a question. So this one says here that they're going to leave him to the blueprints, even though they're arcane to them. And the one called Superman has already reseeded the forest, and he'll require observation. One of them says, attention, incoming transmissions. It's most likely some kind of computer here, and or electronic. They go, Adam, what's your process? And he says, everything's proceeding as planned and envisioned. Before long, Rand will be fully prepared for your arrival. And he's like, do hurry. So you can see his eyes. One's big and one's small, kind of like, I don't know, showing a little bit of the craziness. Oh, look at how mad Orion is. So, and he's yelling like 3 degrees more to the left, 2 more, perfect. So they're putting up this statue, and they're like, now to the solar gardens, as the people just continue to work here. And so they're like, what's that pinging noise? She goes, Orion's mother, it helps control his rage and it's working overtime. So Barda's already explained to him to be patient, but she and Orion are gods, and the slaving isn't sitting well for either of them. But Orion's just like, ping, 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 ping. So they're putting up this sphere here. Wonder Woman says she's losing her grip and she can't hold it, and it falls and breaks. And Adam's like, what have you done? You can see him shaking. He's so upset. And he's like, don't you understand how precise this all has to be? And they ask them to teach her a lesson, and you can see that they're hurting her. And Orion's like, no, you will not break us. And so Steel is like, leave her alone. It was an accident. But now they're doing that to him. And he's like, let that be a lesson to the others. No errors. It's sundown. Take them back to their cell. So things are just not looking up. And Adam, for the most part, has always been portrayed as a hero. So Barda's saying, I wish my husband were here. He'd have free us by now. Of course, she's talking about Mr. Miracle. And Steel is like, for the last time, who is this lunatic? Martian Manhunter explained he is a soul ravaged by grief. Oh my goodness gracious, I cannot speak today. So he used to be an archaeologist who accidentally encountered a zeta beam, which transported him to the planet Ron. And though the effects of the rays were only temporary, Adam often rode subsequent zeta beams to Ron, becoming its champion, demonstrating courage and cleverness unmatched. And he ended up marrying Ron's princess, Alana. So, Alana's father, Sardath, found a way to make Adams a permanent resident of Ron so he wouldn't have to go back and forth between Earth and Ron. But Alana died giving birth to their daughter. So strong was Adam's love for his bride, it was the stuff of galactic legend. So, and he just felt terrible. You can see him here, how sad he is. So Martian Manhunter says that over the years it has poisoned his mind and believes Alana lives. And Green Lantern interrupts and says, "So the Zeta beams are temporary. That means that they'll be zapped back home." And so Wonder Woman says, "That means we'll have to fight much harder. We can't leave the innocent Ranians at Adam's mercy." And they're asking, Flash is asking about Sardath, his father-in-law, if he can help. And Superman, you can see him here using his telescopic vision. He says, "I've been eavesdropping everywhere with my super senses, and apparently Sardath went missing not long after Alana's death." Oh, you can see Orion is just so angry. So, um, Steel is like, "I don't know what's gonna drive me nuts first, reliving racial memories or that blastic pinging." And he's like, "Orion, knock it off." And Orion, "Do not lecture me, Earthling, unless you would be the first to feel my wrath." And you can see Barda trying to hold him out. "Stop, stop." And he's like, "Unhand me, Barda. You simmer with the same rage." So, and you can just see ping, 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 ping. uh, wears one of my favorite costumes of all time for anyone. I just love her costume. Firestorm is another one from DC that I just absolutely love his costume too. Um, Gosh, Firestorm, such a cool character. So, and you can just see ping, 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 ping. So Martian Manhunter says we cannot act out of anger, and um, Orion yells, "You expect a son of Darkseid to bow before a tyrant's evil?" And he's like, "You heard me, I defy you." And they're like, "Punishment you seek, advance further, please." I like that, please. Um, and Martian Manhunter again sees Orion. Strange is not evil. I sympathize with his pain. And Orion pushes him. "You do not understand me. Get out of my way." And Superman now gets in front of Orion, who, by the way, is just salivating. He's so angry. And he's like, "You heard John. We act as a team. Those are the rules." He says, "I honor my rules," Orion says. "I say we strike." And Wonder Woman punches him and says, "Fine, let's start with you." And knocks him down. So, puts her foot on his chest so that he stands still here and says, "I'm the queen of the Amazons, and we're no stranger to slavery." She basically says we need to find the enemy's vulnerabilities and strike then. So, and even a dog of war knows when best to bite. So he goes from just angry to now he's smiling. So Orion says, "Spoken like a warrior born. I will stay my hand for now." She says, "Thank you." And you can see here, amazing. You have tamed him, though I fear it will not last for. And she's slowing down. You can see Flash kind of going in and out of um, phase here. He says, "It may have to. Wonder Woman, I'm lending you my speed. It's our only chance." The guards monitor their thoughts, so they're going to move faster than thought. So they have like one actual second to come up with a plan before the Terrans retaliate. And he's asking who's got a plan. And so Superman says, "Let's make it simple. Adam is alone and unguarded in his tower. We rush him and then use the magic lasso to force him to tell us how to release those shackles." And Flash is like, "Sounds like a winner. Let's go." So you can see the four of them are rushing out faster than everyone else, and they go through, and he's like, "Game's over, Adam. We've had enough." And so you can see that she puts the lasso, and when the man answers, and we'll have them. So Flash is like, "Your Terran forces can't get here in time." And Adam's like, "Oh, yes, they can." And suddenly, bam, they're hit again with a little help. Well done, John. Thanks for bringing them. Good to know somebody is sensible on the team, as the Martian Manhunter has betrayed them. Um, he says, apparently I alone believe in your cause, Adam. Consider me in fully service, because he's also had loss before. So take them back to the holding. Make an example of them tomorrow. We go to double shifts. So there's another transmission coming through as they're um, being taken. And so, Adam, we're nearing round space. Is everything coming along? And Adam says smoothly, by the time you arrive, everything will be precisely in place. And my darling Alana, Ron will be a paradise once more. And you can see she's being held by these creatures here. So now we are going to go to JLA 21, just like the last issue, written by Mark Waid and pencils by Arnie Jorgensen. The cover is done, however, by Howard Porter. I do love this image of Superman just kind of breaking through those chains. So I'm using the trade paperback here for the digital purposes. I do own everything I show, so I actually have all these issues in floppies in single issue forms. I bought them right when they came off the rack back in the day. So we get a quick recap. It's been 4 days. And so they're saying that they've been, the Justice League is in the planet Ron in the Alpha Centauri system, and they've been working around the clock, restoring the world and the planet. And this would normally be a mission of mercy, except that they're not doing so willingly. And you can see how tired they are. Even the heroes have been just overworked. So, and we get here where the Martian Manhunter and Adam Strange are together. I do love this splash page, and of course we got our cast of characters on the other side. As Wonder Woman looks up and Steel. I just think the composition is really well. So, all right. Steel says, looks like John and Adam are thick as thieves, and Barda's like, they always, John seems honorable. I wonder if Adam has some kind of hold on him. So again, we get more explanation of, John's doing it because he feels sympathy, and Adam's crazy thinking his wife is coming, and, they've got the Flash all trapped here, you can see. So, and poor Orion, ping, 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 ping. So, Barda just says this is worse than the planet Tacron Galtus. She's been mentioning it, which is one of the planets under apocalypse here. And you can, again, I missed this part here where Orion's underneath carrying this thing with and just you can't see his face, just the eyes and the teeth, just how angry he is. So, all right. So Steel thinks of something. He's like, as he looks at the ping, and if you can see here, there's the mother box, and he just is looking. Suddenly, Orion goes crazy, and he's like, I'm free. I'm gonna be free, and just starts ripping into them, and he's fighting these berserkers. And Bart is like, I was afraid of this. Orion's proud temper could not be contained forever. And still, Mother Box should be calming him unless, and he realizes it's gone. The Mother Box is not there. And Steel has grabbed it. Of course, Steel is kind of sort of like Iron Man. He's going to basically talk to the Mother Box. So he thinks, if this thing can play with the brain, you can see ping, 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 ping. He wonders with the right adjustment, it might serve as basically a telepathic shield. John realizes that that's what that thing wanted to do, the mother box, but it had to use all its energy just to calm Orion because Orion is just so mad. But um, Steele says Orion won't last long without it, but if he plays this right, maybe he won't have to. And you can see him grab the hammer. The other two are behind him. So um, Adam talks to the Martian Manhunter, and the he Steel hits his hand, which destroys that slave collar control. So John says it's a foolish act. We will not tolerate defiance, and so he's coming at him. So you can see a Steel um, messing with the mother box here, and Superman uses his heat vision to make John stay away. Uh, and Superman says, with the slave shackles neutralized, the Antarans are less of a threat. So they have basically done a revolt, and Superman stands guard or stands by Adam, who's not very happy. He yells at Superman, Superman, no, what have you done? Superman tells Orion to guard Adam, but not to hurt him, because Orion just wants to kill him. So we're going to get our big reveal, our big explanation here. So Adam says, you broke too soon. The construction's not complete, and now we're at the mercy. Superman says, let it rest. We have a world to liberate. We can handle a few dozen Enterons. He said, a few dozen? How about a few thousand? Superman says, what? And from behind him, John says, it's the truth, Superman. The unexpected rebellion has put the planet in danger. And you can see Kyle with the bat here. John, stay back. He says, please, I'm on your side. I have been since the start, and so has Adam. And John says, your plan's been thwarted, Adam. You may as well tell them everything. He says, okay, why not? We've got nothing to lose. In 20 minutes, the invasion is going to go into orbit and vaporize the planet. And everyone's kind of like, what? You can see Orion. Orion's just so angry. By the way, I've been covering the Orion Walt Simonson run, so feel free to check that out. I have a playlist with that. I'm a huge Walt Simonson fan, so we're going to get more of an explanation coming up here. So he says it started with his father-in-law, Sardath. He'd been told Alana died giving birth to Aliyah, their daughter, but that pronouncement came from a visiting Earth doctor who was unfamiliar with Radiant's physiology. So, unknown to Sardath, there was still life, small bits of life still in Alana's body, so he put her and preserved her body, and he clinged to the smallest hope in that he would be able to revive her. The dad eventually found the Antarans, and they did indeed bring her to life, but there was unintended consequences for that. They had used the Zeta beams. Everyone had used the Zeta beams. They saw that it unlocked a trace of the radiation in their cells, and that they had to keep. The Interns said, we can use these teleportations to conquer the galaxy. And so Adam was unaware of all this when he received the incoming transition from Alana, and it says, my love, I'm stranded. Bring me home. Set a Zeta beam for the following coordinates. Of course, you can see her sweating. So something's up. Of course, we know that something's up, but he doesn't. And when he does that, it of course had unintended consequences. He suspected something was wrong. He says that he knew the coordinates were for the entire homeworld, and on a hunch, he he put that device there to gan against the psychic scans, and of course all the Interrans showed up to conquer basically the planet. Of course, it only fits so many, so they weren't able to all of them going in there. And now they're holding Alana and Sardith hostage, and they demanded that we surrender the Zeta technology. And they feared, and fearing trickery themselves, they sent an entire fleet to retrieve it. And they're listening. And in case they met with resistance, they were prepared to incinerate them. So Adam Strange continues and says he had to think of a way to beat them. So pretending that the shock of Alana's resurrection had unbalanced him, he made them an offer to deliver the entire world. He told them tales of Ron's former glory. I convinced them to let him put the Ranians to work that would rebuild the planet to pay tribute to Alana and to celebrate their arrival. So, with the Menticizer sending out scrambled mad thoughts, the Interran says no threats. But even once he drafted their help in the reconstruction, he couldn't tell them the truth without the Interrans pirating secrets from the mine. So, but I could tell John, who shielded himself with his own telepathy, So essentially, he recruited John to help him with his plan. So they only have a chance for the plan to work, and then Steele says, "What plan?" They don't even know what this construction was, and suddenly they all go that Adam Strange tricked them. Alana and Sardith are dead, so they kind of speak like Yoda. Dead they are, So looks like we have a Yoda the way they talk. So they surround the JLA. So Adam Strange says that they can't communicate with the fleet while it's in hyperspace, but they'll pop out of hyperspace in minutes. So before they can learn of their deception, he tells Superman and Green Lantern to forget about the fight, that they have to finish what they started and move the Brilliant Spire 7 degrees to the north, and tells them to do it now. And Green Lantern's like the others, and Superman says that he's known Adam Strange a long time, and he says he has something up his sleeve that's enough for him and to go. So out the rest fight. You can see Orion. He's been waiting for this. He tells Steel to get him to the statue of Alana, and Flash to bring him Aaliyah and to hurry. Flash is like, the Interrans, he says, I love it. Blast it instead of it's just fun to see comic books still use the blast it thing. The Zema being brought them here that is wearing off. That means that the JLA won't be too far behind, and they'll disappear any minute, and they're almost out of time. So Green Lantern's like, what do we do? He says to tie the lens and get ready for a blinding light. So he definitely had a plan. So you can see Wonder Woman is tying him into that structure. And he says he was never reconstructing Ron. Not exactly. It was all camouflage. He was hiding in plain sight the key structure laced with circuitry and transformers. They had to be laid with machine precision while appearing totally innocent. So he knew that no lab-created Zeta being could banish the Terran fleet. But if they did the job right, the entire planet of Ron is now one giant Zeta beam projector, and Adam is going to be its lens. And Superman asks why, and he says that the Zeta teleportation is temporary. He can only stay in Ron because his body contains mega Zeta radiation. I love comic books, I really do. which is the only lasting Zeta that there is. Once the beam fires through him, it will draw the radiation out and teleport the interns away permanently. So he asks Superman to please get Sardath and Alana out before the beam strikes, and he says he's not faster than light, and Flash says I can, and Flash can lend him his speed and asks Superman to brace himself. Green Lantern says that he was counting on all of this coming together, that's a heck of a gamble. And Strange says if he had contacted the Seven Soldiers of Victory, it would be a gamble. I brought the Justice League. That's the plan. I like that line. So off they go. So they're getting out of the hyperspace, and now goes Superman. Boom. So, and Superman is going faster, and you can see he's arrived before the beam, or as. The thing is that I don't know if a normal person, like, he's gonna go grab that lady. I don't know if they could survive a faster than light thing, but hey, it's comic books. Let's not overthink it. So, boom. They're all hit with that Zeta beam. And Steel says it worked, and he asks where he sent them, and Strange says Barda will appreciate them. I sent them to Takron Galtos, that prison planet. So that's under control of Darkseid, and they're not gonna be too happy. And he's like, Superman, hurry. And Flash says, you don't want them to reburn and re-entry. I know you're anxious. Relax. And you've got all the time and then he goes, oh no, he just realized they drew the Mega Zeta radiation out yourself. With it gone, he's gonna fade back to Earth. And she yells at Adam. She's like, Daddy, the little kid. He hugs and kisses his wife. And you can see that the JLA is vanishing. It's the first time the mom meets the daughter, and you can see that he's fading. So tells his daughter that it's okay. He says to tell Sardath he'll be waiting for the next beam and the next ride home. So, and that it was worth it even for just seeing her for a second, and he'll be back, and that he loves her. And so, and then she tells his daughter that they're fine, and someday Adam will return to them. So the JLA is transported back into the Watchtower. You can see Plastic Man and Zoriel. And Zoriel's like, I've been searching the galaxy for you guys. So they're like, where's Adam? And Superman says that the Zeta Beam returns you to the point of origin, and that Adam's back on Earth somewhere alone. So he can't believe that one guy took an entire race of invaders just by thinking them. He mentions that he thought Batman was good. So, and then they realize John is not with them. And of course, now we get to Adam, and he's looking at the moon, and John goes from behind him and puts his hand down to let him know that he's not alone. So with this, we conclude JLA 20 and 21, again from 1998. Grant Morrison and Howard Porter will return on the next issue, so we'll be back to our regular creative team. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe.